Trump's unbroken streak of saying the absolutely most suspicious thing possible about Jeffrey Epstein in any given opportunity continues with this.
Were some of the workers that were taken from you, were some of them young women?
Were some of them
young women?
Well, I don't want to say, but everyone knows the people that were taken. And it was the concept of taking people that work for me is bad. But that story's been pretty well out there. And the answer is yes, they were.
Yes, they were young women?
What did they do?
In the spa.
Jobs.
In the spa?
Yeah, people that work in the spa. And other people would come and complain, this guy is taking people from the spa. I didn't know that. And then when I heard about it, I told them, I said, listen, we don't want you taking our people, whether it was spa or not spa. I don't want them taking people. And he was fine, and then not too long after that, he did it again, and I said, out of here.
Mr. President, did one of those stolen, persons, that include Virginia Giuffre?
I don't know. I think she worked at the spa. I think so. I think that was one of the people, yeah. He stole her. And by the way, she had no complaints about us.
And that really is the only thing that he cares about. The fact that she experienced unimaginable horrors and eventually ended up taking her own life, he doesn't even feel like he needs to mention that. He doesn't care. He's talked about this topic multiple times. Doesn't care about any of the victims. He cares about himself because he lost employees. And that is, after all, the true tragedy in all of this. Importantly, all of this is basically a lie. This is not actually why their friendship ended. The timeline doesn't work out. They were friends for literally years after all of this. But I just want to be clear about, let's pretend it's true. So the White House for, years has been saying, and Trump and his team have been saying for years, every time you bring up the fact that they were best friends and they were partying and Trump knew that he liked young women or whatever, doesn't matter because Trump threw him out of his club because he was a creep, okay? What does that mean? What did he do that made him think he was a creep? You don't get to know. But vaguely, he knew he was a creep and he got rid of him for that reason. So Trump is cool. Don't worry about it. And then Trump decides, no, it's not the creep thing. It's nothing to do with that. It's purely business. Evidently, he didn't have any problem with anything having to do with him being a creep or a predator or a pervert. No, it was, he took my employee. He took them. Doesn't matter if it's spa or not spa. He took them and it's the principle. I don't like that. All that cover story about him supposedly having an issue with him, realizing that his longtime friend wasn't a good guy and distancing himself. Donald Trump wants you to know it's not that at all. It's purely a business thing. And this is now day 2, Sharon, where Trump is going on these long, weaving tangents about how the only thing he seems to care about is that Jeffrey Epstein took his employees or whatever, the young women working in his spa, which raises other questions too. Why did he have all these underage women working in his spa to be stolen by Jeffrey Epstein? But the entire thing is just so grotesque and weird and also dishonest because this isn't actually why he stopped being friends with them. The entire thing is gross. What do you think?
If you're a PR person who can hold your nose and check your integrity at the door, you can't work with this guy. You can't, because he's uncoachable. Why? Rule number 1, don't say the word spa, given everything that's transpired. Or don't say the word spa. Also, the timing doesn't add up. He said wonderful things about Ghislaine and Jeffrey, if you do the math, and then the alleged birthday drawing thing, that was after the time period that he's talking about. He's just a sicko.
Yes.
And by the way, using the word stole about a human being takes you back to, the slave days, okay? You're talking about a young woman, a human, age 17, I believe at the time. What are you talking about? He stole a person from you, a girl from you. This is sicko talk.
Yeah, this is again, you're totally right about the stolen. We were told years ago it was because of a mansion on Palm Beach. Okay, so I guess it's because people are stolen, or it's because of a mansion, or it's because he was a creep, or they don't know.
Brother, too.
Because none of these are true. If there was a truth, you would run with that, okay? It's not that. He distanced himself after it became impossible with all of what was coming out. That's all. That's what it was. That's it. He tried to maintain the friendship as long as he could because he didn't care about that stuff. Like Donald Trump, the guy who has a dozens long list of women that he has abused over the years. What do we think he was gonna have an issue with Jeffrey Epstein over that? Why would he? He surrounds himself with predators and women beaters and all of that. That's never bothered him. We're gonna do breaking news later in the show, I'm sure, of him actually pardoning Diddy or whatever. The idea that that stuff would bother him is comical at this point. And look, thankfully, I think that people are sort of seeing through all of these comical and transparent attempts to distract and deflect from all this. So if we could jump into graphic 3, respondents were asked, do you think that Donald Trump was involved in crimes allegedly committed by Jeffrey Epstein? 46% say yes, 32% say no, 23% aren't sure. Only 68% of Republicans believe Trump was not involved, which that's not high enough, man. I mean, like, he's got what? He tells us 95% approval in some abstract sense. But better than 3 in 10 Republicans aren't sure that he didn't do some really gross stuff with Jeffrey Epstein. You know how suspicious you have to be to get 3 in 10 Republicans to not, just without even thinking, say that you're right and awesome and cool, and you definitely didn't break the law. That is damning for you. And the percentage of people that disapprove of Trump's handling of the Epstein investigation, it's a 61%. 67% say that they think the government is covering up evidence. Only 12% believe that nothing has been covered up. 12%. We are a naturally conspiratorial people. There is nothing that you could ask people that only 12% would say something's being covered up, because it is. Where are those 2 minutes and 53 seconds of the tapes, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino? I know that you're looking at the super ooper double grade deep state now instead of the conspiracy right in front of your face, but the entire thing is just gross, and people thankfully are seeing it. If you enjoyed that, make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming an actual member. But you're probably wondering, why the hell would I do that, John? First off, calm down. The stakes in this are very, very low. But also, when you click the join button and you become a member, you get access to bonus content that I make every week, and it's a ton of fun. You get access to tons of custom emojis and more besides that. By the way, if you join at tier 3, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself and other awesome people, and we always have a great time. By the way, you'll get all that going forward, but you also unlock years of the back catalog. That is literally 100 or more bonus clips, top 10 lists, debates, and more. What are you waiting for? Click the join button below. Your support powers our show, and we couldn't do it without you. Or at the very least, I wouldn't really want to try. Viewers like you keep me here. So thank you in advance for joining.